Like, we're in our last week of harvest.
I know.
Did it not feel like we just started?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to CJ Farm Grit. So we are our last week of grape harvest. We're picking our organic Concord juice grapes. This is the last variety of grapes we pick for the year. So after this, we are done. We have like 55-ish acres of organics. It's gonna be a busy week, last week of harvest. I'm in a semi. I don't drive it. My sister does. You should have just gotten watching that video. So we finished picking the 2.5 acres of organic Concord grapes on one of our parcels, and now we just got everything over here to pick at this other parcel. We got 40 something acres here. So this is where we're picking now. But this harvest has flown by very quickly, but it was very smooth harvest. We got all of our apples in. We're in the home stretch of getting all of our grapes in. So the first week of harvest is our busiest, and then our last week of harvest, because the first week of harvest we have 44 acres of Niagaras that we have to get in a week. Then we have 55 acres of organics that we have to get in 5 days. It's about 5 to 7 days. So that right there is what we're picking right now. The rows end just right up there. They're not very long, and the turning isn't a lot. It's very tight. Like right now they're backing up and stuff. And we're harvesting our organic Concords, and so it's pretty cold out tonight. It's like, I don't know, last I looked it was like 38 degrees, so almost freezing. So cold out and warm in the tractor. All of my windows are foggy. Oh, there it goes. We had one more semi to fill for the night, but the silver thing on the harvester, the thing that spins, that like moves all the belts and everything, it won't spin. If we go like 5 feet up in the row, and Dad has to get out to fix it, and then it's going and it's rolling again, and then we go 5 feet up the row, we have to stop, Dad has to get out, fix it, and so he said that he thinks it needs replaced, so he's going to call the mechanic in the morning. He's going to come out. But my gondola, it's not filled, but it would have filled the front tank on our last semi-load for the night. There's icicles on our truck. This is ice. It looks pretty though. Look at that. Looks like glitter. Look at it shimmer in the light. Winter is upon us. The ground is frozen. This is all icicles. And the leaves. You can't really see it. You can. But I assure you, these are frozen as well. There you can kind of see right there. You see all that shimmer? The temperature dropped to 26 degrees, so it was a cold one last night. And the grapes are still all on. So this row hasn't been picked, and the grapes, we still have them all on here. The stem that holds the grapes, it's pretty like thick, and so we're not worried about that. It's like 54 degrees out right now, and the air is so fresh and crisp, and it smells like grapes. And somebody asked roughly how much grape loss do you have with using a mechanical grape harvester? There's not a definite answer. Dad doesn't really know. So this row is picked, and you can see there is some grapes. There's some grapes here, but with the freezing weather, it doesn't affect the crop. So in summary, the cold weather does not affect the grapes at all. That Dad said that they're strong, that they hold on, but the leaves are kind of wimpy. So the leaves will come off and get all crusty. And we don't know how much grape loss there is. There's not an answer to the question. Dad doesn't even know, and he's been doing this all of his life. So there's not an answer. The grapes are strong. They hold on even through the cold. These leaves are getting crisp and crunchy. Oh, that's satisfying. And brown. These all used to be green. Wow, this is fun. I think those birdies are going the wrong way. Wait, explain why we have 4 pipes here.
Because there's spider webs in the low, and when you hit a spider web, the pipes, it'll get caught on the pipes and not me.
And we've got a lot of spider webs with Herkin spiders on. It's not fun. And then it takes like half hour to get the spider web off your face because it's so thin you don't know where it's at.
It's supposed to rain in a day or two or something, so we need to get this hillside done. Do I need to move? We need to get this hillside picked. Well, we're picking it because it's daylight. And then we need to get it picked because it really is terrible to pick it when it's raining. We picked it a couple years ago and it was raining, and it's uphill and the roads are very short. And so the turning is a lot. The turning is not very good, so we're just getting this out of the way. On top, and that always leaves a row for the picker to pick.
Today I'm driving the gondola and we're picking down in this hillside, and there's this steep hill that we always go around. It's quite steep. Camera doesn't probably do it justice, and I'm driving a New Holland T4 110F with big tires, with wheel weights and calcium in the tires. And Dad says to always go around it, go up there, go around, but that sunset looks cool. Go around and up through on the driveway. We load over there in the semis. But I was talking to Dad, and I'm going to try it because this is a big tractor with big tires, and I'm loaded with 3 tons of grapes. I don't know how this will go, but we'll see. I'll have it in 4-wheel drive. Spin a tire! That is crazy! New Holland. This is a steep hill. I didn't spin 1 tire. Dad, a long time ago, Dad's tried this. One of the workers a long time ago has tried this, and he didn't make it. And Dad had to pull him out with another tractor. This tractor is a beast.
I just saw this right now! Harvest finale week and treated to an air show. Super low. It was really close. It looked really cool because then it flew off into the sunset and there was a bunch of birds. In the front tank we have 3 dumps. Middle tank we put 2 dumps, in the back tank we put 3 dumps. Because 1 gondola full weighs 3 tons. And so that is 3, 6, 7, 8 gondola dumps in a semi. And 8 times 3 is 24, and that's the max that we can haul. 24 tons is the max that we can haul. So that is like leveled out in the semi. We have 3 in the front and 3 in the back. And then after you shut the lid, these clip thingies that we then just clip onto this bar that's connected to this chain, and that keeps the lid down. Now we go back to get filled again. Oh, also, when you're lined up with the semi, with the gondola, you are very close so that you're not spilling grapes out, because if you're too far away, if this is a semi and this is gondola and you're dumping in, if you're too far away, then you're going to spill a lot of grapes. So you got to get rather close. And so like right here, see how close I am to the semi? And so when you're like that, you can't turn, like just turn to get out of there, because the gondola is gonna hit the semi. So you have to, after you're done, you gotta just pull straight forward. You've done before. It was so freaking cool. It had a little gun pointing straight out. When you are pulling away from the semi, you have to pull straight. You cannot turn. I'm pulling straight forward, making sure that my gondola isn't gonna like hit the mirror of the semi or anything, and then you can turn.
And last night we only got 3 days left of harvest. We're picking the organics now. Last night it got really cold. It's like down to, let's see, it was cold, down to like, got down to like 26 maybe. And when it does get that cold, Dad said a long time ago, he's been picking when it was snowing out. So that doesn't mean the berries, when it freezes, that doesn't mean the berries will fall on the ground. It's just, they'll come off super easy. So you barely shake it and it'll come off. It's better when it doesn't freeze.
To show you something. So when the person who fills the tank has to shut the lid and then open the lid for the next one, so that we don't get mixed up on if the tank is filled or not. But so if the spool for the tank is small like this, so this is what we call a small one, and this is a big one. So when they're small like this, then we don't have to sit there and crank it down until the lid is shut. We can just let it go and it will unravel itself. But Dad said to only do that on these narrow ones and not on the big ones. So when I let go of it and the lid comes coming down without me standing there, that's why. So how it stops is there's these little groovies, and then this clip, it stops it from going. So that is what keeps the lid from moving. I'm gonna just put it down a little bit and then let it go. To get another load. We are moving all the equipment over to our next parcel, our last parcel that we're going to harvest. Well, this field is all done.
So right here we were picking at a low spot in our vineyard, and during the spring we had a late frost, and so most of the buds froze off. That is why there isn't many grapes on the belts at the bottom of the field. But as we get closer to the top of the field, where there is a higher elevation, there is a lot more tonnage, meaning more grapes.
Everything's been going smoothly these last couple days. After we got the roller replaced because it was getting stuck a lot, and we got all the wrinkles ironed out right as we're ending. But we try to get all the mechanical issues fixed before we start harvest. But there's always going to be something in farming. You're always going to have some kind of a problem. I don't know if you all can smell it, but the grapes smell very, very good because they are very ripe right now. Take a deep breath. You might be able to smell it. So we finish up grape harvest tomorrow afternoon. We have like a load and a half. We have two loads we're taking in tonight. So here we are pulling up to get the sugars tested for the grapes. So for our Concord juice grapes, the sugars have to be at least above 15 bricks. Ours had been about mid to high 16s, which is about an average grape sugar rating. And so in places where we have higher tonnage, we are going to have less sugars. And where we have less tonnage, we are going to have higher sugars. And if we pick during or after a rain, that rainwater is sitting on the grape leaves and the grapes, and so technically we pick that rainwater, which then dilutes the grape sugars as well.
Today's the last day of harvest.
The last day of harvest. It's the last day of harvest.
I'm picking in a spot where there's a draw, and we had a late frost this year. So on the bottoms of this, it's about, because it all like 4 of the 5 maybe buds froze off. So there's not like nothing there, and it's like there's nothing there. There's like maybe 2 ton, which is not a lot. Probably averages, if it didn't freeze, maybe like 9, 10. But on top here, on the top of that same row of this field right here, on the top it's about 15 ton. So late frost are not good for grapes, especially in the draws where, you know, because it's lower, so the buds will freeze off.
So when I'm pulling up to a semi, I go into high too, and you have to get really close to the tire. So the gondola, it makes it in the semi-tank. Double check a field that we were picking to make sure we didn't miss any rows, and sure enough there was a missed row. It had the sprinklers on, so that's probably why it was missed. And so my sisters, they're taking off the sprinklers right now, and then once we finish this field, then we have to go back over and get that row, and then that's it for harvest 2024. Picking the last row, and then we're done with Grape Harvest 2024. Of grapes for 2024. That is it, my friends. We are done with Grape Harvest 2024.
I can't believe these three talked me into doing this.